My wife stole a $300 gift from my parents' house, lied about it, and only admitted when my dad threatened to search everyone's bags. Now her mom is screaming at me for not defending her, and our marriage is falling apart. My wife is 28 and I am 30. My brother and his wife went to visit our parents as we haven't seen them in a while. My parents, 57, had a box of $300 ginseng in the fridge to be given as a gift for their close friend's wedding anniversary tomorrow. We know this because it came up in conversation during lunch. They also told us to help ourselves to anything in the fridge, but to not touch the ginseng for obvious reasons. The problem came when a few hours later my parents told us in a panic saying that they couldn't find the ginseng and if anyone saw it. I didn't take it, and at first, I thought they just misplaced it somewhere. However, they insisted that they both agreed on not moving it out of the fridge drawer for that exact reason. All of us denied taking it, and the conversation got more heated when my father started yelling that someone must have taken it since it only went missing when we came to visit. All of us continued to deny taking it, with my wife being really quiet, and my father said that if it doesn't turn up soon, he'd have to have everyone's belongings checked. That was when my wife admitted that she took it. Apparently, it was some popular brand that my in-laws mentioned and she wanted to give it to them, and she thought that no one would notice since it was in an inconspicuous place in the fridge. My mother-in-law later called and said my parents overreacted over such an inconsequential thing and screamed at me that I was an asshole for not defending my wife. The thing is, it wasn't a small thing. My wife literally stole hundreds of dollars from my parents and tried to lie her way out of it. While I agree that my parents shouldn't have started yelling and accusing us, I feel like my wife was in the wrong for taking the ginseng in the first place. This situation has caused a lot of friction, and we haven't been speaking since coming home. Best comments. Your wife literally stole a $300 item for your parents, and her and Mill are mad she got caught. Honestly, if my husband did that, I'd be having a long think about continuing the marriage. I wouldn't even need to think about it. Instant divorce. If she's willing to lie over a box of ginseng for such selfish reasons, she clearly doesn't love or respect me or my family, and I'd never be able to trust her about anything again. I wonder what else Little Miss Sticky Fingers has helped herself to in other people's homes. My wife's sister is a kleptomaniac. She has a good job, but she's been caught stealing from stores, friends' houses, and, unfortunately, from our house. She's doing better, but she is no longer visiting. We always meet at her house or a neutral place. Update number 1, 3 days after the first post. After making the post, I thought a lot more about the situation. I realized after reading the comments that this indeed wasn't a one-time situation. Things in our house like face creams, kitchen utensils, and even household tools would go missing, and I would just believe my wife's excuses. I feel like such an idiot for not realizing sooner, and honestly can't believe she took advantage of my trust like that. I guess a part of me refused to believe the truth, which was how she thought she could get away with it this time. When I brought up divorce, she immediately threatened to call the police to arrest me for domestic violence, when I had never laid a hand on her like that, so that I couldn't ever find a job again. So needless to say, my lawyer is being called, and this marriage will be over very soon. I have also apologized to my parents for all this awful behavior, and they have accepted. To be honest, this is probably the best ending, and I'm kind of glad this situation happened before it went on any longer. I'm incredibly done with my hopefully soon ex-wife and her side of the family, whose mother called me again yesterday entirely remorseless and called me a childish mommy's boy. Thank you everyone for all the help and comments. Also, to clarify a few things, from what I'm aware, mother-in-law was aware of my wife's actions, especially since she had done this sort of thing before, taking things from our house to give to them, and didn't see anything wrong with it since neither of them like my parents. And since it was going to be a short visit, like 2 hours tops, she thought no one was going to notice the missing ginseng before we left. Best comments. Your wife is a thief and a liar. Your mother-in-law is at best the enabler involved in raising her and received the stolen bounty, and you're the one they're both mad at? Many may think divorce is too extreme, but if your wife can steal from your family, then she cannot be trusted at all.